Okay, the second part is we're going to compute for the maximum displacement. So based on table B6 in Appendix B of this textbook, the properties for a W12 by 35 shape, the I is equivalent to 285 inches to the fourth and S is 45.6 inches to the cube. So the maximum displacement based on the result, on the first result in our solution, we determine that the maximum displacement is W sub O L to the fourth all over EI. So therefore, our maximum displacement is equal to W sub O L to the fourth all over 8 EI. So this is the maximum displacement or the maximum deflection when x is equal to 0. That is W sub O L to the fourth all over 8 EI based on our solution in the first part. So if we try to substitute the value for W sub O and E and I and the L, so we can obtain here that we have to, since the given is in feet, so we have to convert that to inches. So this would give us 400 converting to inches all over 12 times the length is 8 times 12, convert also to inches all over 8 times 29 times 10 to the 6th times 285. So this gives us the value of 0.0428 inches. So this is the maximum deflection. So for us to understand better or to appreciate better the magnitude of the displacement, so let us compute the maximum bending stress in the beam. So based on our computation, the maximum bending moment occurs at point B. So the maximum moment, as we have computed, is equal to W sub O L squared all over 2. So this is the maximum bending moment at point B. So therefore, from our formula, maximum stress is equal to maximum moment all over S. So this will give us W sub O L squared all over 2S. So substitute the given values, convert also to inches. So 400 all over 12 times 8 times 12 squared all over 2 times 45.6. So this gives us the result of 33,700 PSI. So the second problem is a simply supported beam ABC in the figure carries a distributed load of maximum intensity W sub O over its span of length L. Determine the maximum displacement of the beam. So we have here a figure. We are given with a triangular loading. It has an intensity of W sub O. There is a support at point A and at point C. So we have a simply supported at point A and a roller at point C. So we're going to compute for the reaction at R sub A and R sub C. The reaction at point A and at point C are equal. So this will be equivalent to, we consider the triangle. So that will be by equivalent to, if you're going to have the triangle, so that will be 1/2 of W sub O times L all over 2. So this will give us W sub O L all over 4. So we have now our reaction at point A and at point C. So if we try to get now the moment, we're going to section our beam from segment AB from point A to point B. So we're going to have here our shear force. We have our moment force. And of course, we have reaction at point A, W of OL all over 4. So this one, this triangular loading will have our distance from this point towards from the centroid of the triangle towards the cut section is x all over 3. So therefore, if we're going to have our intensity for our triangle by ratio and proportion, so this will give us W of OX squared all over L, and this one actually is equal to 2 W's of OX all over L. So we can now get our moment. So our moment here will be equivalent to, considering the cut section on the left portion, of course, this reaction force will give us a clockwise direction. We have here W's of OL all over 4. Of course, from here towards this cut section is our x, so this is times x, then minus this triangular loading will have a counterclockwise direction. W's of O x squared all over L times x all over 3. That is the moment arm distance. So therefore, our moment will be equivalent to W's of O all over 12 L times 3L squared x minus 4x cubed. So we simply get the LCD for both terms. So this is now the simplified form. Now we're going to substitute our moment to our differential equation of the elastic curve. We start with EI V double prime is equal to M. So we substitute our M, which has W sub O all over 12 L times 3 L squared x minus 4x cubed. So therefore, if we try to evaluate this one, we get our slope equation. We integrate, getting now the first derivative. We have EI V prime is equal to W sub O all over 12L. This is a constant term, so times 3L squared. Our variable is x, apply power formula. So x squared all over 2 minus 4x to the fourth all over 4 plus c of 1. So therefore, if we try to simplify further, we have here our equation, which is equivalent to W's of O all over 12L times our 3L squared x squared all over 2, then minus x to the fourth all over 4 plus c sub 1. So this is now our slope equation. From this slope equation, we try to have the double second derivative. We try to integrate again. We now have our deflection or displacement equation. So we have W sub O all over 12L times 3L squared x cubed all over 2 times 3 minus x to the fifth all over 5, applying power formula to our variable x, then plus c sub 1x plus c sub 2. So therefore, we have here W sub O all over 12L times L squared x cubed all over 2 minus x to the fifth all over 5 plus c sub 1 x plus c sub 2. Now we're going to evaluate our c sub 1 and c sub 2. We're going to get the value for the constant of integration by applying the boundary condition. So applying boundary condition, so first boundary condition is that's at point A, that is a simple support, so therefore there is no deflection. So V here is equal to 0 when x is equal to 0. So meaning to say no deflection at A due to the simple support. So therefore, we substitute x here equal to 0 and b is equal to 0. So we have here from this equation, so c sub 2 here is 0. The second boundary condition is due to symmetry, the slope at midspan is also 0. So meaning to say slope at midspan is equal to 0. So x is equal to L all over 2. That is at midspan. This is due to symmetry. Deflection or slope at midspan is 0. So which means that x equal to L all over 2 and b prime is equal to 0. So if we try to substitute, you have 0 from this equation. Use this equation. So 0 is equal to W sub O all over 12L times 3 L to the fourth all over 8 minus L to the fourth all over 16 plus C sub 1. So therefore, if we try to simplify further, we can have the value for C sub 1 is equal to negative 5 W sub L cube all over 192. So we have now our value for C sub 1. So if we're going to substitute our equation to our value for C sub 1 and C sub 2 to our elastic curve equation, so you have EI is equal to W sub O all over 12L times L squared x cubed all over 2 minus x to the fifth all over 5 minus 5 W sub O L cubed all over 192x. So if we try to simplify this one, we have negative W sub O x all over 960 L times 25 L to the fourth minus 40 L squared plus 16 x to the fourth. So by symmetry, the maximum displacement occurs at midspan. So at midspan, x here is L all over 2. So therefore, from the equation EI V, so x here is equal to L all over 2. We have here, we simply have to substitute the value for x. You have negative W sub O, L all over 2, all over 960 L times 25 L to the fourth minus 40 L squared times L all over 2 squared plus 16 times L all over 2 to the fourth. If we try to simplify, this gives us negative W sub O L to the fourth all over 120. So if we're going now to have, you have to take note that the negative sign indicates deflection is downward. So therefore, the maximum displacement is equal to V, which is x is equal to L all over 2, and that is W sub O L to the fourth all over 120 EI. So this is now the value for our maximum displacement. So we simply have to, from this equation, we get the value for the maximum displacement, our V, and that is equivalent to W sub all over 4, W sub O L to the fourth all over 120 divide 2 EI, so 120 EI. So negative here indicates that deflection is downward.